Hi, we're going to talk about the types of blocks that are available in Scratch 3.0. Programming in Scratch is done by dragging and dropping pre-made blocks. Students don't need to type or be able to type the exact code they're using. That allows you to avoid minor errors that would occur that would cause a lot of debugging because you've typed in code just a little bit incorrectly. If you want to see the actual code that is the basis for your blocks, you can click on View Code in Scratch. The actual code is written in HTML5 and JavaScript. So we have three different types of blocks we're going to talk about. The first type is hat blocks. And if you look at the hat blocks, you can see that they've got a little curve on the top of them, which does not allow any blocks to be placed above those blocks or attached above those blocks. You'll notice there's a notch underneath because you are going to attach other blocks underneath that will be triggered by whatever is in the hat block. So the hat block basically tells you when to start using the scripts that are underneath or the blocks that are underneath. So when the green flag is clicked, when a certain space key or letter key is clicked, when a sprite is clicked, when a background switches, or perhaps when they receive a message. So all of these will cause a script that is just sitting there to actually start to be run through. The second type of block, and this is the block you use the most, is a stack or action block. It's called a stack block because you stack one above the other. So if you notice, there's a little indent on the top, and that is going to be attached either to another stack block or to a hat block. And there's a little notch sticking out on the bottom, which tells you that you can go ahead and attach more things underneath. So these might have a kind of movement. It might tell the computer to make a sound. It might cause a costume change to occur. And what you want to do is make sure that you understand how each one of these blocks works before you use it. So take a look at the blocks we've got. Stop the video for just a moment and ask yourself, do you know what move 10 steps is? And do you know how to move in other directions? Do you know what x equals 0, y equals 0 means on the stage? Do you know the difference between gliding and moving? Gliding takes place over time. Moving is instantaneous. So stop for just a moment and think about those, and then go ahead and restart the video. A third type of block that we use is a reporter block. This gathers information to help an action block know what to do. They may be sensors or operators. And so the operators are in green, and the operators may just do a math operation, adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. You may pick a random number. You may look for a certain value. And we also have Boolean operators that look for more than one thing to be true at a time. And there's another whole section of programming on Boolean operators, so please look at that. The sensing tells the computer to take a look at the situation. Maybe is the mouse pointer touching the sprite? Is a certain color touching another color? Is the mouse pointer close enough to a certain sprite for something to happen? Remember that the computer will do something if the answer is true, and normally won't do something if the answer is false. If you're not sure what a block does, you can right-click on it and go to Help, and that will give you a lot of information about how the block works. Here's an example. When you're doing broadcasting, the receiver, which is the sprite that's going to do something based on the message, starts off with a hat block, and it says, when I receive, and then whatever message you're sending. So this is the one that the receiver is going to get. The sprite that's sending the message is going to use one of the stack blocks, either broadcast the message or broadcast the message and wait. The difference between these, in broadcast the message, the sprite will send the message out and then get right back to whatever it was it's told to do next. In broadcast and wait, the sprite will actually wait until the other sprites react before moving on to the next command. So that is a small introduction to the different types of blocks, hat blocks, action or stack blocks, and reporter blocks. So what I'd like you to do now is go to your reflection journal and make a little summary of the types of blocks.